Can you believe it's already July? We are halfway through this year, my friends. I'm still sort of digesting that information. And I want to acknowledge there was great reason, I think, to get up and move things out of our body, because this has been a very heavy week. This has been a very challenging week in our country, and I will get to that. But first, I want to presence in our sacred space today that July is Disability Pride Month. It is a time to celebrate the history, achievements, and experiences of the disability community, commemorating the Americans with Disabilities Act signed on July 26, 1990. This is why July has become this focus for so many of us. In 2019, Anne McGill, who has cerebral palsy, created the Disability Pride Flag to represent visibility, self-acceptance, and to challenge ableism. John, would you put that flag up on the screen? That's what it looks like right there. And for those of you who may not be aware, I just want to share with you the meaning of this symbol. The red stripe represents physical disabilities. The gold or yellow symbolizes neurodiversity. The white stripe there stands for invisible and undiagnosed disabilities. The blue represents emotional and psychiatric disabilities, and the green signifies sensory disabilities such as deafness or blindness. Disability pride is about honoring each person's uniqueness as part of our shared human diversity. So this month of July, I invite all of us, whether you fall into any of these categories or not, to learn more about the experiences of the disability community so that we can all together, in our own way, become better allies to our sisters, brothers, and siblings. I'm going to do this month, and I invite you to join me. Are you with me in this? Great. There's all kinds of resources online. I just invite you to lean into this. It's such an important thing to learn and know about and understand. So, this has been a painful week. I know I speak for all of us when I say that we hold in our hearts the families and loved ones impacted by the flash flooding that happened in Texas this week. And our hearts, our prayers, our love to all of those people who are moving through that experience, I cannot even imagine. And many of us are also grieving the passing of the bill that happened this week, the bill that will remove SNAP, food assistance, and Medicaid from millions while increasing funding for ICE. It is a lot. And I am so grateful to have this loving, nurturing, safe, spiritual community here and online, all across the country and world, so that we can all continue to process what's happening together and to be a part of the healing process. You know, it's so very important to me. I've learned in my own personal life that for healing to really occur, we first must always name it, allow ourselves to feel it, and then turn towards the spiritual truth and the tools that will assist us as we continue to move through it. And so that's my intention today. My intention today is really to provide some spiritual tools and to minister, if you will, to our hearts, mine included. So I want to explore how we can cultivate the spaciousness within ourselves, a kind of inner expansion, if you will, so that we can experience freedom, the freedom that Darcy just sang about, so that we can experience the divine light that is the inherent truth of all of us from the inside out. And from that place, we become people who can show up effectively. It's easy to feel paralyzed by everything that is happening. And so just like dancing it out, moving it through spiritual practice is what I intend for us this day in a loving and powerful way, so that we can be true beneficial presences or love in action. And we can do that in a way that's impactful and healthy as a response to all that is unfolding. And in times like this, I often turn to Mother Nature when I need to be reminded of spiritual truth. And this week, I remembered something that I hadn't thought about in years and years, and it kept coming back to me, this vivid imagery, and it helped me. So I want to share that with you. The darkest place on earth, is the bottom of the ocean. And it's a specific place in the ocean called the Mariana Trench. It's located in the Pacific Ocean near Guam. And on the floor of that part of our deepest ocean, there is no sunlight, zero, there is none. And the pressure would crush most life. Mount Everest, to give you a sense of it, Mount Everest could fit inside it all the way down from the bottom up with about 1.5 miles to spare. That's how deep it is. That is how dark it is. And yet, all the way down there, life exists. And that life is called bioluminescent creatures. And through this incredible, magical, mystical, just extraordinary chemical process, they have developed a way to create light within them. Look at that. Look at that. Their light is not reliant on anything outside of them. Even without sunlight, they create their own light, even in the deepest dark. Spirit is reminding us through them that the light is never gone. It is always, always within us. This is more than marine biology. This is a sacred metaphor for all of us right now. No matter how dark life feels, no matter how much pressure we are under, we carry a light within us that is not dependent on circumstances. It is the divine spark of who we truly are. And we are being called right now, I believe, to remember our light, to draw strength from it, to shine it, not just for our own comfort, but I think more than ever for each other. I don't know about you, but when I see someone else's light shining, it reminds me of my own. You see that in the arts. You see that in courageous conversations. You see that in moments of extraordinary humility or forgiveness or kindness. When we witness other people's light shining, it shines on us. It's a mirror for us. Rumi said, "If everything around seems dark, look again. You may be the light." If everything around seems dark, look again. You may be the light. So being with this, I would like to invite all of us into a meditative process, if you're willing, a healing meditative process, those here and those online, those watching later in the week or listening. So I invite you to just take a deep, nourishing breath in, close your eyes, Or if you're more comfortable, just gaze down at a fixed point in front of you and soften your gaze. Let us all take a deep breath in together. And I invite you to simply and gently notice if there is an area in your own life where you may be feeling difficulty, worry, or even just a quiet sense of constriction or withholding. Just without judgment, gently notice. And now I invite you to notice where you feel this in your body temple. Perhaps it's in your heart, your solar plexus, your throat. It could be in your back, your shoulders, your head. Everyone feels this in a different place. And wherever you feel this, a sense of heaviness or worry or concern or constriction, I invite you to just gently place your attention there with tenderness and care, with no judgment. And now I invite you to take in another soft, easy breath. And as you exhale, simply visualize that particular area of your body temple softening and expanding. Allow spaciousness in that part of you. And doing that another time, let's take in another cleansing, nourishing breath. And once again, on the exhale, allowing and visualizing spaciousness around that part of your body temple, allowing for your light to shine there, your inner divine light. Visualizing now your inner divine light bathing that area of concern or worry or constriction with eternal love, with grace, with kindness. Allowing your divine light within to be felt and to be amplified. Giving yourself full permission for this light to fill any places within you that may be hurting. And if it's easier for you to feel divine love expanding within you, that's beautiful too. And another deep, nourishing breath. And once again, as you exhale, I invite you to gently pour that light, that divine, unconditional love now throughout your entire body temple. Visualize it moving from your crown chakra, the top of your head, all the way down your body temple, through your feet and the ground and the epicenter of the earth. Recognizing this is a powerful healing tool, this light that fills your being. This is the light that dances you. This is the light that sings through you, that prays through you, that gives and extends kindness through you. Visualize this light getting even bigger now. And I invite you to simply imagine this light rippling now from your body temple out into the hurting places in our world. Visualizing this light healing the hurting places and blessing all of those who need it now. Recognizing that this light within each one of us is meant to be shared, is meant to be given away easily and effortlessly. And in this, we remember our oneness and our interconnectivity with all beings and all of life. And now when you feel ready, remembering the healing power of your divine light, not only for yourself, but for this world, I invite you to very gently begin to feel the air in the room and the seat beneath you. And gently open your eyes, carrying this spaciousness and this light with you. I have been doing that process all week, and I invite you into that. I invite you to return to this practice whenever you feel yourself caught in the stress and the challenge or fear or worry. I invite you to pause, to take a gentle breath, and on your exhale, simply soften. Allow the spaciousness and light to fill that part of your body that's holding that emotion, and remember the bioluminescent species. Remember the sacred truth. You are made of spirit. You are made of light. You know, Jesus of Nazareth himself said, "You are the light of the world." Let's hold to that. Let's practice that. So we are in our incarnation on this planet, living through a time of profound change. And if you haven't yet seen Shelley Walker's beautiful talk last week about the spiritual practice of change, I invite you into that. It's very, very helpful, and it's very hopeful. It's beautiful. So, you know, this week I asked myself, in the midst of all that is going on, how do we move forward? How do we keep supporting those who need us most? And what kept coming to me, in addition to the bioluminescent species image, yes, welcome to my brain. What kept coming to me was surprising, and the more I turned to it, the more I allowed it in more deeply, it made all the sense in the world. I believe that part of that answer, how we move forward, how we keep supporting those who need us most, involves us using long-term creative strategic thinking. And given our current circumstances in our country, the best way that we can be effective, that we can be of service, is to mindfully move ourselves, hear me fully, into the place of flexibility and adaptability. Now, when I say adapt, I do not mean surrender or settle. That is not at all what I mean. Far from it. I mean staying flexible, staying creative, and deeply rooted in our vision and our mission and our purpose. The word adapt comes from the Latin adaptare, meaning to adjust. We are being asked, with everything that is happening, to adjust, not to agree, to adjust. Think about the Mariana Trench again. When it formed, life didn't give up, it adjusted. Evolution stepped in and bioluminescent creatures emerged, bringing their own light to the ocean floor. They didn't fight the dark. They found a way to effectively shine within it, thereby making it less dark. Do you see? We are being asked to shine our light and be effective in doing that so that we can make it less dark. Adapting is about finding steady, compassionate ways to keep moving forward towards what matters. It's about noticing and asking, how can I respond here with wisdom, with heart, and with courageous strength? How can I keep standing for love in creative and life-giving ways? There's a photo, I'm going to ask John to put it up in a minute. It's a picture of a tree from New Zealand, and it grew in one of the windiest, most harshest areas in that country. John, would you put that photo up, please? This extraordinary, you don't have the tree. Okay, well, not a problem, we're going to adapt. Yes, we are. Let me describe it to you. Maybe we'll put this on the web page, Carolyn. It's a tree that the side where the wind comes has no leaves, but the other side is lush and full and green and life-giving. It is fully adapted to its environment. It is still alive, it is still growing, it is still giving life to all the other creatures that need it. But one half of it has completely adapted. And the idea here is that instead of pushing against that storm, the tree grew with the strong winds. That wisdom is for us right now. When we grow with the change, even and especially when we don't like it, we stay grounded. We stay present, we stay creative, and we keep our light shining strong so that it can be a beacon for others through these challenges. You know, I'm reminded of Zoran Mandani's recent inspiring primary victory in New York City. Did any of you see that? Zoran Mamdani. His campaign embraced people-centered approaches that met communities where they are, joyfully and authentically and with deep listening. He showed that when we adapt, when we meet the moment with innovative, creative, and courageous strength, we can build something together that is powerful, even and especially during difficult times. When I worked as a community organizer for social justice, I met some of the most creative people I have ever met in my life. Why? Because they had to adapt. They were effective, they were truth tellers, they were strong, they were change agents, and they were adapting on the fly, often daily. It was an extraordinary thing to behold. Adapting isn't something that we only do outside in the world. Please hear me. Adapting is also about what is shifting inside of each of us, in our hearts, our beliefs, our rhythms, our capacity to stay engaged. The work of spirit-led social action flows from the inside out. The most effective kind flows from the heart center out. So tending to our inner lives with care and flexibility is how we stay strong. The old Japanese proverb says, "The bamboo that bends is stronger than the oak that resists." Do you see? There is great strength in our ability to bend, to move, to remain open, because this is how we endure, how we heal, and how we find our way forward, and how we will support the most vulnerable among us. So I ask you, where in your own life might you be holding on to something too tightly? Where in your own life might you be standing like the oak tree rather than bending like the bamboo? Where might life be gently asking you to loosen your grip and grow in a new direction? Like those bioluminescent creatures, you already carry the light, my love. Like the wind-shaped tree, you have the strength to grow in the midst of what is here. Joel Goldsmith said, God or spirit, source, is the I in the midst of me. God is the I in the midst of me. Adaptation isn't a one-time choice. It is a practice, a rhythm, a returning, a constant returning. It's the quiet, faithful work of asking, what would it feel like to soften here? Imagine for a moment, my loves, what would it feel like if you softened that place within you? To adjust here, what would it feel if you adjusted that? To grow with it rather than against it. What would that feel like? Can you feel the spaciousness in that? The light in that? This is how we keep becoming. This is how we keep shining. This is how we stay in the holy, sacred work without losing ourselves along the way, without getting stuck in the fear and the worry or the anger or the sadness. And in all of this, Spirit asks us, time and time again across millennia, no matter what is happening, seek out the joy. Remember the light. In the Hebrew Bible in Isaiah, it says, you shall go out in joy and be led forth in peace. The mountains and the hills before you shall burst into song, and all the trees of the field shall clap their hands. We are made to rise with joy, with peace, even in the strongest and often the most painful of times. We can be people who hold both. We can speak the truth about what's hard and still have room for joy. We can stay engaged and still laugh and breathe and dance and sing, because these are the things that remind us, that give us strength, that build us up, that remind us that we are standing on terra firma, on holy ground, on solid ground. And when we stay connected to our light, we can find our way in the dark places, and we can shine the light for those who need it most. So this week, I invite you into a couple of different practices. I invite you to learn something new that you didn't already know about the disability community, knowing that that in itself will create more light within you and the world. The second thing I invite you into is, when things get difficult, remember the glowing creatures in the dark. Turn to your light. Allow it to expand within you as a healing balm, not only for yourself, but for those who need it, because we understand that we are all interconnected. We are all one on the seen and unseen sides of life. And finally, I invite you to look at the places where you may be being a little inflexible. Gently, very gently notice. Very gently notice. Adapt. Look at the places in your life that are asking you to adapt in an effective and creative and powerful way. And finally, let us all here at the New Thought Center for Spiritual Living continue to courageously do the work as we stand for freedom, not only for ourselves, but for our country and especially those who are hurting right now. Are you with me?